yo, bro, I saw you too. Yo, that's him. That's Himothy. He starts calling about Eagle. Yo,
Himothy?
Yeah. That's Himothy.
I've never heard of that. That's good.
Then he looks across the room. He sees Mark. He goes, yo, you too, man. Yo, you were fire, bro. Yo, you killed that shit. Then he looks to the left and sees me and goes, matter of fact, I got to keep it real. But yo. Welcome back to Oops the Podcast.
All right, lots to unpack here.
I got something for you.
Please. Julio, I don't know where you came up with that idea.
Dude, this guy was a huge turkey.
What is this, Japan? Which is
Yeah.
one of the reasons why I hadn't told you about it.
No, and I also just assumed you were saving it for the pod if you were going to tell me,
Yeah.
which of course you were.
Oh,
But-
yeah.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Oops the Podcast. Julio and Francis here doing the thing. What's up, dude? How you doing?
I'm solid.
Love it. Dude, I have a story for you, actually.
Oh, excellent. I love a good story.
A good story about a little bit of a public shaming. So, I opened for Andrew Schultz.
Oh,
a week or so
yeah.
ago.
Pretty sweet.
Was a lot of fun.
Oh.
Did I tell you this?
No, but I have a funny thing.
Was it related to that too?
Yeah.
We both have Andrew Schultz stories.
It's related specifically to this.
How do you know this? Did I tell you this?
So
I love it. I love it.
Andrew Schultz texted me and asked me for your number
Oh, nice.
because he wanted to ask you to open for him at the place.
Yeah.
And I gave him your number.
Mm-hmm.
But then you were like, yo, Schultz has me opening for him at this place. And I was like, that's sick.
Mm-hmm.
And because I didn't want to be like, I know, I helped
Right,
facilitate that
right.
because of the conversation we had. And
Which is also why I told you, because of the conversation.
Exactly.
We had. That's funny.
I didn't want to come off as being like, yeah, I already know that, bro. I was like kind of part of it. But then I ended up lying in a weird way, or like pretending that I didn't know.
Yeah.
But that's what happened.
You know what's funny about that too? I actually thought about that. I was like, we've never texted. He had to get my number somehow. Like, Francis, without a doubt, is the number one candidate to give. Like, he did our pod. Like, there's no. I was like, but then I didn't think more into it. I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's really funny, dude.
I thought that was, and it was such an
That's really
amazing example of the very phenomenon we had talked about.
Yeah,
Of like,
totally.
I don't need people to think that, it was just another.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent almost of being like, oh, I'm doing so-and-so club. Oh, you're going to love that club. I just did it.
Yeah.
Like, somehow it's related to that.
Yeah.
You always have an example of like making yourself involved or better.
There's no way for me to let you know that I knew you were opening for him without sounding like I want some measure of ownership or praise or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That I want credit.
Mm-hmm.
And so I basically just acted surprised, but then I felt very dishonest.
Yeah. It's funny.
But I think that's better.
Yeah, it's whatever. It wouldn't have mattered either way.
I know,
But you're definitely not being dishonest.
I
That's
only
fine.
did it because we'd had the conversation.
Yeah.
Normally I would have been like, yeah, I just gave him your number.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Dude, that's very
All
funny.
right. So how was it?
That's
Tell me
very funny.
about
So
it.
it was good. Shows were both great, but there's something funny happened. So, it was me and Eagle Witt, and Mark, who's always with Andrew. And we're sitting in the green room. The end of the second show, a fan busts into the green room.
Ooh.
And whoever Schultz is like manager guy or whatever, he gets up. He's like, dude, you can't be in here. You can't be in here. And the guy's like, yo, Schultz, bro, just let me shoot my shot, dude. Like, I'm shooting my shot. Like, can I get a picture with you, bro? I know this is my only opportunity. And Schultz is like, he's like, all right, waves him over, right? As the guy's walking in, he sees Eagle. He goes, oh, yo, I saw you. By the way, I'm not like impersonating someone's race. This person's race is not what you would expect, just so you know. Okay? It's a guy who talks like this, who maybe is not what the first choice would be if you had to guess.
Cool.
Okay? So
cool.
I have
nice disclaimer.
I have no qualms doing this. Yo, bro, I saw you too. Yo, that's him. That's Himothy. He starts calling about Eagle. Yo,
Himothy?
Yeah. That's Himothy.
I've never heard of that. That's good.
So, oh, whoa. Then he looks across the room. He sees Mark. He goes, yo, you too, man. Yo, you were fire, bro. Yo, you killed that shit. Then he looks to the left and sees me and goes, matter of fact, I got to keep it real. But yo.
Wait, he didn't praise you?
He specifically wanted to show that he needed to keep it real, which meant that he could not praise me because he didn't like me.
What the fuck?
Dude, I had really good sets on both shows too. And I was like, God damn it. And then in the back of my head, I'm like, is there some world where Schultz just like wasn't paying attention to the shows at all and hears that guy say that and just thinks that like I didn't do well?
That's a Francis neuroticism there.
Now, this is the thing. If I am to me, the power move there, you say nothing about it. Haha, don't think about it again. It's over. Mind you, I'd been getting harassed more than usual that day. A lot of angry DMs. So I was a little more sensitive.
I like where this is going.
I know that by saying anything about it hurts me. This is a situation where doing anything is bad. Doing nothing is the winning solution.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, you know that you heard me though. No. Oh, these fucking guys. Can you believe that guy came in here and said that? No, none of that. Haha, over. Don't think about it again.
I'm having a little hard trouble following who's talking there, but
okay, sorry. What? These are what I was just saying are two different. These are two different possible approaches to me talking about what just happened.
That's you doing you. Okay,
both of those are me doing me.
All right.
That's just me doing me. That's me being Himothy, bro. I'm Himothy.
Wait, really quick. Did nobody else in the room, when he didn't praise you, say anything?
Everyone went, ah. And Mark went, what are you talking about, bro? Like, he killed. Like,
oh, that's nice.
Yeah, agreed. But I also, I would have done that even if the person didn't. Because I would have been even if the person didn't.
To someone else.
If a bogey broke past the line and started insulting people in the room, I would immediately defend the person in the room, even if I didn't think that they did well.
100%.
But he literally went after me. I did extremely well, especially on the second show, actually. I thought. Anyway, whatever. But it was pretty funny.
Wait, so what did you do?
Nothing. They're like,
then
all right,
you did the right thing.
Yeah, I just chuckled. I was like, all right, dude.
Because you said I had a couple of options.
I did nothing.
I
didn't do it. I did nothing.
Are you pleased with that?
Yeah. It was the only path forward. And choosing to do something else would have been me succumbing to my own like neuroses.
You said that you'd had a day where you'd been harassed a lot.
Yeah, people were insulting me.
You were really setting us up to make it sound like you had succumbed to your baser instincts.
No.
And had responded.
So I'm sorry if that was a bit of a letdown. But
no, I'm happy. That's remarkable restraint.
No, but all I'm saying is that I think I was in a position where I was even more likely to do the most in that situation.
Yeah.
Which I knew I needed to restrain myself from doing.
Wonderful.
I'm not necessarily patting myself on the back. I still think
we
it's
are.
a possibility that I caught an undeserved L in that scenario. But
but you didn't, because you admit right now that had you done anything, that would have been the greater L. So you have to call it a victory.
Agreed.
Now, do you wish that the rest of the guys in there had done more?
No.
That when that guy was rude to you, Schultz had said, hey, you don't get a picture because you were mean to my friend?
I believe they had already taken the picture.
Ah.
And no, I don't need any sort of, that guy, it doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even saying he's a no, but I'm just saying, like, I'm sorry if this is starting to become a bit of a manic trade.
Whoa, no, it's good. We love, it's good if you come to my side of the fence.
I thought he went, he went, so when the guy started saying that, just went, like we all knew that this should be struck from the record.
Yes.
Was what it appeared the reaction to be.
I see.
And, what if I was like, yo, you come in this group, like if I stand up.
Come on.
No.
You can't do that.
Get out of here.
You can't disturb the peace.
Can't, yeah. It was all, no. And it's funny, now that I've been headlining, it's interesting to be opening for people because I am far more aware of little specific things that go a long way when somebody's opening for me. And I will never let on like I'm keeping tabs, but I am.
Uh-huh.
I'm very well aware of every single thing that everybody's doing the entire weekend. And while I have a ton of tolerance for most of it, there are certain things that would really bother me where you'd never know that I was bothered.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to be able to take that into account now.
Interesting.
I think I've always been a good opener in the sense of like compatibility. Like I don't cause problems. I'm not.
You don't get to open for the caliber of comedians that you have if you are in any way less than perfect.
I appreciate that.
And
But
truly,
like behavior wise, to me,
just in every aspect of
Yeah.
being a feature, it's
Yeah.
to me it's a role that requires more professionalism even than being a headliner. If you to be a great one.
Thank you.
And so yeah, I mean I've always known that about you. And what are some things that people do that features have done that would bother you? Because I have a lot.
I worry that it will be too obvious who I'm talking about if I were to. But okay, here's some general ones. Trying to sort of like set the agenda for the weekend, like trying to outline what the plans are going to be.
Away from the shows?
No, telling me this is what we should be doing tomorrow.
Someone has done that?
Yes.
Wait, you're saying
not hey, why don't we do this? Why don't we plan on meeting? Someone has said that to me before. To me, that is outrageous.
Uh-huh.
So why don't we plan for tomorrow on?
Yeah.
That is unacceptable, and a variety of other things I know. But I want to hear what yours are.
I think I've said these before, but I really don't like it when the person in front of me does crowd work.
So interesting. So all of my criteria are about behavior off stage. I don't have a single stipulation of on stage. Which is interesting. But I've heard this one too.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it when they do crowd work in front of me because I want to do some crowd work. And if they've picked over the first 2 rows of audience, then by the time I get up there and I'm like, "What do you do for work?" and they're like, "I'm a firefighter." The whole crowd knows that already.
Yeah,
The guy before me, and I wasn't able to see it or hear it, and so I'm trotting over trodden ground.
Yeah.
And it's, it sucks. And then I don't like, I mean, you've learned this about me. I don't like really loud music in the green room.
Well, you get to decide that though, right? If it's your show.
Yeah, I do.
No.
But I also don't like a ton of people in the green room.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like representation in the green room, especially before the show.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't like that. I don't want agents and managers and industry people to come in before the show. I want it to just be the people performing. And I don't know. That's kind of it. I don't think I'm too much of a diva, to be honest with you. I just want it to be like a peaceful place that we can gather our thoughts to get ready for the performance we're about to put on.
Yeah,
sort of my
fair.
thought.
That's solid. Yeah, mine is all like behavior, and granted, maybe it's a little different because like a lot of the time I bring people, and I know you don't always do that.
Not really.
So mine usually centers around the hang. Like anybody who's being burdensome in any way to me is a problem.
Yeah.
So whether you're being, because listen, we're all friends, right? But this is a specific version of our friendship where, this is like I'm doing these long shows and like I get to decide things. So be comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to like make us be even Steven. This isn't the time for it. We are, but in this capacity, I am deciding what we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So any sort of lack to acknowledge that, I don't know. It's mostly that kind of shit, but whatever. Anyway.
Well, I've been having a lot of fun in stand-up lately.
That's great.
Because I forced myself to start trying really big chunks of new material.
Oh, nice.
That I'm going to be working on that jury duty story.
Oh, nice.
And that came after out of the podcast. And I just was like, I got to get on fucking stage and tell the fact that you laughed as hard as you did when I went wah, wah, wah
Oh my God.
made me think like, oh, maybe that's a funny bit. And then I did that, and then I tied it in as the way I got out of jury duty.
Yeah.
And I just went on stage, and I'm telling you, it was like a 4-minute thing where I hadn't written anything. And it got laughs.
Great.
And I'm like, all right, this is
Awesome.
a fucking big lump of clay.
Yeah.
And let's see if after 20 tellings, I've got some features here.
Yeah. It's a really nice thing, dude, to be working on.
Makes it fun.
Yeah.
Makes
that's
it
really,
fun.
That's really great. I'm happy to hear it. Good shit, dude.
Yeah.
So, Francis, it's looking like we're toward the tail end of winter
Yeah, we are.
a bit, which is nice. We got that little late February dusting.
The sun's starting to think about coming out, baby.
Yeah, there were even sun rays poking through my window somehow through the scaffolding this morning, which I was like, oh, I haven't seen that in a while. And it reminds me that, nicer times are ahead. So if you guys are looking for a new pair of shades going into the summer, highly recommend Shady Rays.
Shady Rays. We just got our pairs of Shady Rays, and I'm feeling fit and flirty and ready to be naughty.
Shady Rays.
Shady Rays.
Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers a world-class product just as good as any expensive pair we've worn. Durable frames, extremely clear optics for all your outdoor adventures.
Yeah, you can tell they're high quality.
They do. They also offer the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by a lost and broken replacements, which is nice. Shady Rays is good stuff, man. If you need some good stuff to guard your eyes from the old sun, definitely recommend getting a pair. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com. Use code OOPS for 50% off.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
2 or more pairs of polarized
Yeah, you got to
sunglasses.
get 2. And you're going to want 2.
50% off.
Just don't even bother with getting 1. You're going to want 2. You're going to want a little choice, a little selection there.
Shady Rays, it's Shady Rays.
So, boy, oh boy. What
Dude,
do you-
I have a random question. This isn't something I would normally bring up on the pod, but I think it's specific enough that it's worth discussing. Do you think that sisters discuss the genitalia of their boyfriends with each other?
Ooh,
Boyfriends or husbands in any
that's a
capacity?
good question.
Like in a, hey, can I ask you a question? Does your so-and-so have this? Like, that's one way, but also like, he's got a fucking hog on him. Like, is that
Yeah,
happening
that's a
too?
good question.
Like, I'm just so curious. And it might not even be like, oh, he has a hog on him. It might be like, he's got a hog on him. And like, I really have to like prepare. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I wonder about this. Sisters out there?
My guess is that everyone's different, right? Obviously, that's the first answer. But then the second answer would be that my guess would be that women, when they're younger, and the relationships are less, who knows if this will last. Early on, seeing a guy, they probably are more likely to offer details about.
Totally. But what
that
about to the
stuff.
sister? To their sister?
Yeah, my
Do you
guess.
think specifically to the sister as well? It applies?
Yeah,
Is it weird to talk about it with your sister?
I would. Would you talk about it with your brother
I don't know, dude.
when you guys were younger?
Like, maybe not. Like, I might talk about sex as a abstract idea,
I mean, what is sex?
but I would
even?
never. No, like, and no, there were. I mean, listen, there were. I mean, there was one time that I actually feel bad about, where. So I just want you to show. Like, I'm not like, it's not like weird. Like, one time, him and his girlfriend were staying at my apartment, and I had my show, and I ended up bringing somebody home, and they could like hear us,
Ooh.
which was like, at the time, I didn't like think that much about it, and I was kind of like, all right, well, whatever. Like, but now I'm sort of like, oh, maybe that was like not a good look on my part.
How old were you?
26. I don't know.
Yeah. You don't think about those things then.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's,
So-
it's an age thing.
But I'm not telling my brother, man, you should have seen this girl. Like, I might talk that way with a friend, but with my brother, I don't know. I just like don't. I don't know if it's a good measurement example.
Yeah, it's a good question, dude. That is a very good question, and one that I'm only guessing at.
Mhm.
Because of course my sister and I would never have in a million years brought up sex to each other at all.
Yeah. I mean, you can't like. And
Speaking of which, she just had her second baby.
wow.
Oh my God!
yesterday.
Congratulations,
Uncle
I'm a
Fran.
uncle times two.
Uncle Francis.
Uncle Francis. Yeah, baby Theo.
Wow.
Big baby, 10 pounds.
Wow.
Damn.
Big
Yeah.
old boy.
You gotta put a lacrosse stick in his hands
I
young.
know. That kid's going to be on the offensive line.
Hell yeah.
He's gonna be a thrasher.
Yeah. So that's thrilling. Very excited for them. Really am. Really happy. Very relieved. When your sister's the mother, there's worry.
Oh, right.
You
'Cause
know?
it's a,
You just really want it to go well. You want to get the call that everything's good and happy and healthy.
yeah. I mean, dude, in a past time, that was one of the leading causes of death.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
So,
So all seems good. All systems go. Very happy. 2 babies. They are growing the fam.
excellent, dude.
I spoke to her. I spoke to her later in the day after she's still in the hospital, obviously, and I said, how's it going? How you feeling? She's like, good. I'm tired. But we'll see. Maybe I've got one more in me or something like that. Alluding to like, yeah, well, thinking. I'm like, why are you? You don't have to think about baby number 3 right now.
Right.
You deserve a couple of weeks
Mm-hmm.
to not have that thought in your mind. But I don't know. I just am impressed by the resilience of mothers.
Incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed, bro.
Yeah.
Well, dude, speaking of parents, I've begun to become slightly concerned about some of my dad's behavior.
Mm.
And I know they say as you get older, the knob sort of turns further to the right. But he's starting to ask. He calls me the other day. He's like, hey, so he's doing this thing for these Chinese students, right? So he's coming to New York in the summer for a week. He goes, you know any places I can crash? I'm like, what? I'm like, dude, what are you, my college buddy? Like, no, I don't know any places you can crash. He goes, and then he starts making suggestions after I'm polite about it too. I'm like, I'm not sure, to be honest, but I can probably help you get a good rate on a hotel. So like, while I can't help what he wants, I have a solution.
Mhm.
I've been trying to be thoughtful. And he goes, like, what if one of your pals is like out of town or something? I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, like Danny Palmer, he calls him Dan Johnson. He goes, what about Dan Johnson? My dad, Dan Johnson, is going to be here, dude. And
Yeah.
he lives in a 300 square foot fucking studio.
All right, let me tell you. I'm going to just say this right now. I would be very happy to have your dad stay at my place.
Dude, you really?
I mean that to the degree, too, where there's probably a high likelihood. I don't know when would be theoretically coming in. But one, I trust him. He's an adult. I know he's not going to be like ripping a bong in our apartment and getting us in trouble with our building. And 2, there's a high likelihood that we'll be away. So
Okay.
I love your dad.
Careful what you wish for, dude.
Yeah.
And then
I think he'd be a lot happier staying at our place than he would at Dan Johnson's place.
I suspect you are
This is a
correct.
distinguished scholar coming into town for lectures and,
Yeah.
geopolitical events. I mean, my God, we'd be honored to have him.
It's very nice. All right, I'm gonna float it. We'll see.
You tell stories about your dad that are very funny and very down to earth, but a lot of the time lost in that is the fact that he is a tenured professor in some of the most respected academic circles.
It's true.
In the country.
It is true.
Um,
He's definitely, which I think adds to his allure, in my opinion.
I'm a bit of a sycophant when it comes to academia.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what's making me so happy to roll out a red carpet for him.
Maybe, but like, yeah, when I see people's reaction to that, I remember. I'm like, oh yeah, like he has a cool thing going on. But dude, then he's like, what about your, like, I'll bring an air mattress and like stay on your floor. I'm like, dude, treat yourself.
He
pal.
deserves better than that.
Treat yourself.
Yeah.
You're not sleeping on my floor.
Right.
He's like, well, I don't care. I'm like, all right, but dude, like, he started to act as if we have this like they can't stay over policy. I'm like, where are you gonna stay, dude?
Mhm.
You just gonna be on the floor, in the hallway? What are you talking about? You're not sleeping on the floor, dude.
Right.
I don't know. And then I'm like, am I being like stuck up or something?
No, it's tricky. It's a tricky thing. That is not easy because your parents have given you your whole life and have
Totally.
always had an open door and always said, stay,
Yeah.
come stop over, stay over. And I don't know that it, not knowing how to house your parents in your apartment, your New York City apartment, is not necessarily a non-reciprocal policy.
Right. Exactly. If we had another bedroom, of course he could stay.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So anyway, but then, dude, he did this. All right, he's been doing this other thing too, where he will like latch on to something I say one time and act like it's what I do. So he calls me. I'm out on my little road trip actually. It's like 10 a.m. He's like, "What's up?" He's like, "What are you up to?" He's like, "You at brunch?" And I'm like, "What?" It's like 10 o'clock in the morning.
It's like he's 10 years behind on cultural buzzwords.
And also, like, my parents, their brunch is like at 10 a.m.
Yeah, it just makes me think he just picked up an issue of Cosmo from 2006, where everyone's like, brunch is the new lunch or something. Everyone's brunching.
Yeah, dude. So then he goes, "You're not?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "You go to brunch every Sunday. You go to brunch. That's your special thing." I was like, "I do? I do that?" He's like, "Yes, you do that." I'm like, "No, I don't."
Uh-huh.
He goes, "You don't?" I'm like, "I don't." And then he goes, "Hey, relax." I'm like, dude,
Oh my God.
this is like, and I just hear my mom laughing in the background. I'm like, thank God you witnessed this. This is like multiple layers of gaslighting occurring at the same time. You did this. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. No, you didn't. Hey, chill. What? Dude, it's absolutely insane.
I love that.
I'm like, dude, that is very frustrating.
I love that. I love that from your dad.
Dude, insane.
What a funny guy.
What a funny guy.
Oh man, you said something early on that I had a thought of, but no, I've forgotten. I can't remember what it was.
Okay, dude. So I left out. So I did 9 stops on my road trip. I'm sorry to keep talking about this.
Jesus.
But yeah, one that I left out, which is to me was a really fascinating one that I hadn't really heard about, but the Flight 93 Memorial.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that in where the plane crashed?
Yes.
Holy cow. I
Western
would
Pennsylvania.
love to go to that.
It is obviously a very intense experience. And just a sort of like less talked about and very important layer to that entire story.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows where it crashed. The way that the memorial is set up is very like thoughtful and powerful, I thought. And yeah, dude, it literally just crashed in the middle of nowhere. And then in the actual little museum portion, you can hear like those phone calls that people were making. And
Oh
shit.
my god.
Yeah, which I couldn't even listen, dude. I couldn't even do
Wow.
it.
Yeah,
It's still
that's
too soon
tough.
for me, dude.
Right.
But a very, you got to really drive an extremely long way to get there. You
Mhm,
know what I mean?
mhm.
Which made it definitely one of the highlights, though it's a low light ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
But nice to go and pay my respects and remember a very crazy day.
Wow. Is that an incredibly rural area? I mean, was it anywhere near houses or other
Very
population centers? Or?
very rural. If I recall, it's like it's not as far southwestern Pennsylvania as where Fort Necessity was. Or it's not like quite Pittsburgh, but it's like not far. It's only I think like an hour from there. East,
My question being
mountainous, sort of like hilly,
Yeah.
exiting mountainous territory.
My question being, how lucky was it that the plane
so it was
crashed?
20 minutes away from DC,
Oh wow.
and it was heading for the White House. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and the other thing too that bummed me out even more, according to the official story or whatever, they struggled to take the plane over. They didn't try to bring it down because it was going to the White House. They weren't like, all right, we all got to go down. I think that the way that they make it sound is that once the terrorists realized there's no way that they could make it to the White House, they decided to just bring it down.
Wait, I don't understand.
So I think that everybody realized, supposedly, that the plane was heading for the White House. At that point, they're like, we need to do something. So they rushed the cabin or whatever and tried to take over. But they weren't like, we need to bring this plane down. I think they're
the
like,
passengers?
yeah. I think they're like,
They weren't like, we need to try to recommand the plane and find a way to land it safely?
I think that like it sounds as if that were to be the next step if they were to able to successfully defeat the terrorists in the moment.
I thought that once the passengers revolted and used the drink cart as a battering ram and fought back and all of that, the pilots, the terrorist pilots, put it into a nosedive that was unrecoverable.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I just didn't know that.
I only know that from seeing the movie Flight
Oh,
93.
yeah. Which, dude, that movie came out way too soon. I
A lot of
remember
people said
seeing
that.
it and
Yeah.
being like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why am I here watching this?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so the struggle, I just thought that in the struggle, the plane ended up going down. I just wasn't properly informed.
Interesting.
So, anyway.
Interesting. Truly heroic.
Totally, man. And, it's nice to, I know I always say this, but I try my best to to perfect my approach because I don't want to see too much before I go somewhere because it'll spoil it a little.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to know stuff. So I think what I've landed on is if it's a historic site, research without looking at pictures.
Mm-hmm.
That is my final.
Cool.
And if there's any sort of audio accompaniment, listen to it on the way,
Oh, wow.
which is a fun addition.
Interesting.
So,
Look at you, man. Nobody is a drier sponge for information than Giulio Galleretti. Just absolutely bottomless capacity for new learning. It's impressive.
Thank you, man. Thank
Most
you.
people say, I've learned enough today. I'm going to shut it down.
I mean, I certainly.
Yeah, but you are driving a long way to learn.
Yeah, I think I drove 22 hours total in 2 days.
Holy smokes, dude. I don't know, man. Listen, the pursuit of knowledge is, I find it more and more rewarding the older I get.
Mm,
I love reading.
yeah.
I really love reading. I feel the same sense of accomplishment from throwing away, getting through 60 pages in a day that I do from crushing a hard, full 1 hour workout.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Feel just about the same thing.
Totally. No, it's fun for sure. And
Yeah.
dude, I'm kind of like a husky. Like you got to walk me a lot in order for me to be a good boy. You know what I mean? Like some weeks I'm just in my apartment, I'm about to just start eating the couch,
Yeah.
figuratively speaking. And by doing that, by like burning myself out, I come back able to focus.
Huh.
Actually, had
And it's going and seeing sights and exploring. That is what.
sometimes, yeah, like doing that 22 hours of driving in 2 days. I came back like wrecked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And was able to still like do a little bit of work in the afternoon, but then the rest of the week was like an amazingly productive week for me.
Wow.
Also, I think it was so funny when you told us you were leaving. You're just like, Hill Dog's out of town. I'm going on a trip.
Hit the
Unreal.
road. But dude,
Unreal.
at one point, a guy at the memorial asked me to take a picture. And I'm not kidding you, bro. It was like an older guy, but he goes, "You just push the white button." I'm like, dude, come on. Are you serious? That is like acute mansplaining.
Yeah, that's age-splaining in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, it reveals more about him. than
totally.
about
Like
you.
he just doesn't realize that that's obvious.
Bird dogs. I brought some bird dogs in today to do a big workout. I have a big workout coming up, and I didn't have a whole lot of room in my backpack.
What are you
So
doing?
I'm gonna go probably do a fitting room.
Wow.
I think I'm gonna do one of those.
With the H?
Yeah.
What is it exactly?
It's stations.
Oh, cool. Like circuit workout?
Yeah, it's tough.
And you're going to get in there with your bird diddly dogs.
Yeah.
You're going to sweat.
Well, I didn't have a whole lot of room in my backpack that I brought in, and so I said to myself, well, okay, I could either bring a pair of shorts and some spandeckaroonies, or one pair of bird dogs.
Brilliant.
And boy, oh boy, all of a sudden that backpack started to feel a lot bigger, a lot more spacious.
That's great.
Yeah, such that I could add my book and my headphones and my bottle of water and the gym shoes and the tank top and the socks.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, man. Is it?
It's about economizing your space. That's what Bird Dogs
100%.
does. It is the answer to making life more efficient. It
Travel
has
light.
the built-in spandex underwear liner that's great for exercising, great for just feeling comfortable. The shorts are phenomenal for exercising, for lounging, for swimming, all of that. The pants are the same way. Built-in underwear liner. Trust me, guys, we absolutely love everything that Bird Dogs is making. And right now, you can go to birddogs.com, use promo code OOPS. You'll get a free tumbler with your purchase. Get yourself some pants, joggers, or shorts, or all of the above. birddogs.com, promo code OOPS.
Can I ask you a question, actually? So do you have a slap tear? Did I make that up? When you talk about working
I think
out?
my shoulder,
Yeah.
I think I have had. It might have healed by now.
Okay.
Maybe it never did, and I'm just not even doing those exercises anymore.
Okay, because they say that could happen. So I've been doing physical therapy for a while, and and it's not really doing anything. I'm starting to think that I have one.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, at what point, if it just doesn't get better, do I decide if I'm going to get surgery or not? Because like I can't do stuff with my left arm right now. Like I can do this, I can do that, whatever. I can't do any sort of like weightlifting. Not that I care. But like even playing tennis, I suspect would be a very painful endeavor. I'm like, do I
Damn.
never want to play tennis again? So I'm like, should I do like any wacky shit like fasting? And I'm like that seems very extreme. But my physical therapist was like, you could get an MRI, but I'm just warning you, somehow going down the road of getting surgery, even if you're not planning to get surgery, somehow ends in surgery. And I was like, whoa, that's
That's what your physical therapist said?
I was like, that's pretty wild.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a good question.
Yeah.
That, my God, the more we find out about our bodies, the more we realize just how much damage we've done.
Dude, it's wild.
I went in for to ask a podiatrist, a foot doctor, about why my toes hurt so much, because they're always rubbing against each other, and I had a lot of toe pain. And she said, well, let's take an X-ray. And in taking the X-ray, I think I told you this, she said that I had 3 separate fractures in my foot.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I didn't come in for that. Don't tell me that. We're
Yeah.
talking about the toes.
So what do you do?
She's like, well, they haven't healed, but they're not going to get worse.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, from playing soccer probably and lacrosse. At some point, someone stepped on my foot. Never got, I look back on pain that I just dealt with in my athletic career, where, if you go to get that X-ray at that point, they're going to tell you you're out 6 weeks.
Right.
You need to let this heal.
Right.
And just stuff that you played through because you knew that everyone around you was doing the exact same thing.
Right.
The real injuries that sidelined people were torn ACLs and concussions and broken arms and things like that.
Do you think that's a war era injury or something that you've done in adulthood?
The breaks in my feet.
Yeah.
Sports.
From like playing lacrosse though.
And probably soccer specifically.
Yeah, makes sense. Right
Just-
foot.
But I think both feet had
Jesus.
breaks.
Oh, you played soccer in college too, right?
Yeah, I did one
That's pretty sick, dude. Bo
1
Jackson.
year of 2.
Nice.
Which was tough.
That's so like underrated about you that you were like that you were play Division I soccer. Also,
It's something that I can't say because it's just pure arrogance.
it's just a fact. You literally did it. It doesn't have to be arrogant.
Yeah.
It's all right to be a fucking star athlete, huh?
I remember we drove to play Columbia in soccer, and it was weird. I played. Yeah, somehow it was the off. No, we went to play Columbia, and on the way back, the soccer team was so small that our coaches could drive us.
Oh,
We
nice.
didn't need to
in
hire
the
a
big
big
van?
coach bus.
Yeah.
And so we had, I think, 2 big Sprinter vans, and the assistant coach was driving the one we were in. And everybody and he was a young guy. I mean, he was like 24, 25, had played somewhere else and was the assistant coach.
Cool, dude.
Yeah, to the degree that he came out with us one night, and got fucked up and slept on someone's futon. And it was like we all knew, and we couldn't talk about it because he would have been fired. And we liked him. But
He probably regrets that.
I wonder, because he didn't do it again. But that guy was driving, and everybody on the team threw a dip in.
Back to D.
And I didn't hate dipping, but I never liked it, which I'm glad I didn't,
Yeah.
because I know how addictive it is. But I didn't want to be the odd man out. So I threw a dip in, and, we're driving from New York to Boston. It's hours,
Sick.
dude.
Yeah.
The battle, because you couldn't be like, Coach, can we pull over?
Yeah.
I need to throw up. because everybody was like silently dipping, and we weren't supposed to be. But we kind of thought he knew and would have been cool, but man, I took it out immediately and just was like reeling from it.
Dude, it's the worst feeling. One time my girlfriend in college thought I was cheating on her because I wasn't responding, but I was just vomiting for 2 hours from dipping. Classic, like 18-year-old high stakes. Are you? And I'm literally like, she refuses to realize she's wrong. She's like come this far, is still yelling at me as my head's on the toilet.
Oh my God.
Insane.
She was with you?
No, she like came to like find where I was and found me, and I was sick, vomiting at my friend's house from dipping.
Damn.
Dude, not to mention, even when Brian F. Schultz, my savior, drove me from Fort Myers to Miami, we're in the car. It's this triumphant moment. He gives me like a snooze, which is sort of like this.
Yeah.
5 minutes in, it starts to get to the point where I'm like, ooh, and like while moving, it's actually worse. I immediately took it out and recovered, but I was close.
Do you know that when I went to Sweden, when I was probably 24? Yeah, 24 years old. Me and 3 of my friends, we were all single. We went to I think maybe we were in Oslo actually in Norway, but we were sitting at some outdoor cafe bar, and we started talking to these girls, and Norwegians, Scandinavians are very standoffish. They're not particularly accustomed to like strangers coming up and saying, "Hey, can we sit with you guys? Can we talk to you guys for a little bit?" So we were just doing our best, and they were kind of they were realizing that we were just nice guys and not being weird or anything. But I remembered specifically one of them put a snooze in, the girls, and I was like, "Oh, you guys do that?" And they were like, "Yeah, what do you mean?" And I couldn't specify that that was such watching someone pack tobacco in their lip was more of a male thing in America.
Right.
So I had to like make something up and be like, "Oh, I could never. It's too powerful for me." And then she was like, "Well, why don't you try the gum?" And she had the tobacco gum, the nicotine gum.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, cool." And I ate some of that, and that fucking put me on my ass.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Can you swallow the gum?
I don't think so.
No.
None of it.
Dude, that hit me so hard.
Dude, it just, you're right, though. You picture a guy being like, all right, 3-1 batters count.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
There's a cowpoke, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, rodeo handler.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right, I got one more thing. Chris, what's up? You guys?
I was just going to say, I was in Seattle, and I saw that they have that stupid gum wall there, and you're just like, so this stuff never digests in your
crazy.
body. It's kind of...
Lasts forever.
Yeah.
I swallow gum all the time.
Yeah, it's...
I can see that for you, Ryan.
Me too.
Yeah.
My grandparents wouldn't let me have it because they thought that meant I was going to die. They're like, you'll choke and die. They wouldn't give it to me.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm glad you
I've swallowed gum while we've recorded this podcast before.
All right, Ryan. Let's not.
But Ryan's a big gum guy, so maybe you have like a heightened immunity.
You have no idea how big of a gum guy Ryan is.
I have an idea, but
He looks at
gotcha.
gum as a hobby.
yeah.
I like to view chewing gum the same way that people smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
And I take pride in that because that's cool. That's like cool and not dangerous. It's gum.
Chewing gum?
Chewing gum's so
you
cool.
You chew gum because you think it adds to your look.
It could. I mean, when we went to the Celtics game, I got a green pack of gum, and there was nothing sexier than whipping out a
Solid.
stick of that.
That's
Yeah.
solid.
Oh, green
He
gum.
said to me on the way to the Celtics game, he's like, "I know exactly what gum I'm going to bring tomorrow."
It's a fresh pack of
It's the
5.
most important part of his outfit.
Dude, I picture Ryan being the principal of a school and like trying to encourage kids not to vape and being like, it's not cool. And just going, right there. That's you right there. See?
Yeah.
Cool?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh my God. Did I tell you that this morning, my beloved wife brought me in an absolutely perfect iced oat milk latte with 2 shots of Brooklyn Roastings Oops beans. Put it on the bedside table. I said to myself, does the day start any better? I ran into the bathroom to throw some cold water on my face. I like to spritz up a little
like
bit
that.
before I have that first sip. And while I was in there, Ruby came in and knocked the whole coffee
No!
all over the room.
No. What a crazy swing, dude.
It made me so mad that I wanted to spank her. I wanted to give her a good old spanking. I said, "You don't understand how much that coffee means to me, you bad dog. You
naughty girl.
bad dog." I was furious about it. But
Did you say rhubarb?
yeah, I said
Use her full
Rhubarb
name.
Ellis. Sarah was like, "Did we choose the last name for her?" And I was like, "Maybe I didn't have that right."
Go to your cage.
Yeah, go to your basket. That's what we say.
Go to your basket.
Even though it's a bed, it's not a basket.
It's cute.
I was really mad losing such a delicious coffee. Brooklyn Roasting, Oops Beans. Oh my God, losing that. Got to make it all over again. Oh, it's just the cleanup. It wasn't even the cleanup. It was just knowing that I didn't get to have that coffee exactly right when I wanted.
Yeah.
I was so excited about it.
And now you have a difficult task ahead of you before getting to have
It
one.
set the whole day back, man. I've just been fighting an uphill battle ever since
You've
then.
had a bit of a tough day, actually.
Having a tough day. Golly
have.
rhubarb. But still love the dog, and more than anything, love the coffee. We have our own coffee from the Oops Beans from Brooklyn Roasting Company, one of the most respected, well-liked, sought-after roasters in the entire country, as far as I can tell. Brooklyn Roasting Company, guys, you can go get our coffee, the Oops Beans, and any of the other coffees that they have right now at brooklynroasting.com. Use promo code Oops Beans. That's going to be 5% off for you. Lucky dogs.
You're lucky.
Good dogs.
Good dog.
brooklynroasting.com, promo code Oops Beans.
Dude, I have one more thing before we wrap it up here, unless you have other things to say as well.
If you had to assign gum to a decade of American history, what decade would you assign gum to? What comes to mind when you think of gum chewing?
I don't know, bubble gum, like the
No.
90s or something?
What years?
The 90s.
It is the 90s.
Is it?
It's definitely the 90s.
But I just thought that that's when I was growing up, and that's when I was most
No,
aware
man.
of gum.
When I think right now of when was gum big,
90s.
when was gum huge? It's the 90s. It's
Bubblicious?
Clueless. It's
Yeah.
you know the masticating indifference.
Lindsay Lohan.
Just masticating is
that
not the
later?
right word. What's when
What?
cows
Parent
chew
trap?
cud?
Oh,
Yeah, but what's that called? What's the
don't know.
word for that? Is it masticating?
what's cud?
Cud is chewed grass that they keep chewing.
Got it.
What does masticate mean? Does that mean spitting?
Masticate. Chewing.
Oh, it is chewing. All right, I was right.
Well
I
done.
think the early 2000s.
Gotta
too,
trust
big
my
Late in the
instincts.
game.
Trust my
Covers the
instincts.
spread.
Yeah.
Over under will Francis have a
Yeah.
word no one has heard
All
before the end of the episode.
right, what's your thing?
Okay, so I told you about the thing where the Spaniard was all up in my shit in
Yeah.
the Delta Lounge, right?
Yeah.
A friend of mine replied to that and was like, Spaniards are weird about spatial awareness, which I just thought was a hilarious thing that they said. Who knows if that's true or not? But anyway, I'm in the gym on the treadmill, and dude, I'm not kidding you. There's 19 treadmills in a row. I'm the only person using one. Spaniard pulls up on the one directly next to me. There's 18 fucking treadmills. What are you doing?
That's not okay.
So maybe that is true.
Yeah.
Any Spaniards out there, let me know if you're just comfortable rubbing up shoulders with people or something. I don't know. I would like to get to the bottom of this.
Was this you were on a treadmill in a lounge?
in a gym?
Oh,
No. Sorry.
oh,
This is a separate.
I see.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're like, oh.
I didn't know they had that. All right, I got one more for you.
Okay.
I got one more for you. I have taken the subway home for the last 2 or 3 days, and on the last 2 days, a woman has gotten on my car on the F train and said the following: "Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna keep this brief. I'm really embarrassed and I'm humiliated, but this is my last resort. I have gone to all the following shelters, blah blah blah." And she lists like 5 or 6 places, and they've all run out. And I need just to pay for diapers for my baby. Can anything helps? Even a bottle of water, whatever. And she's told the same story 3 days in a row, to the degree that I know it's not honest.
So okay, yeah. But like to me, it's like, all right, if the shelter is doesn't have any capacity anymore or whatever, that could theoretically be true for 3 straight days. but I'm assuming you were just giving me the gist.
Let's just say that there are pieces of information in her pitch that couldn't possibly be true
3 days in a row.
3 days in a row.
100%. Got it.
And people are giving her money, which fine, because it's the first time they've heard it.
Right.
Is it my job
to tell everyone?
To let everyone know this is the 3rd day in a row that I've heard her say this. We're on day 3. Word for word, people. Word for word. Same order on the shelters that she went to.
That is really fucking funny. Dude.
Is it my job?
No. Because nobody's giving her anything significant. If they give her $1, even if she's full of shit, it's not the end of the world. To me, it's not worth intervening.
But then the loudspeaker comes on and says that, ladies and gentlemen, panhandling and asking for money on the subway is illegal. Please do not encourage this behavior. And then there's another one that says, if you see something, say something. And I'm wondering,
is that something?
Am I seeing something? And should I be saying something?
I don't know, dude. That's like one of those things where they're like, if something bad happens in school, be sure to tell the principal, and then you tell the principal, and everyone in school hates you.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, but it's interesting.
But I'm wondering about that. And you know what else has been really bothering me lately? This is another thing that's been really bothering me lately. When I get out of the subway and I walk up the ramp and you get to the turnstile, to the right of the turnstile is the emergency exit door, which when you open it, lets off that very non-bothersome. Yeah, but it's not that bad.
And it doesn't always happen.
Correct. And most of the people, when there's a big flood of people leaving the subway, they'll go out the emergency exit because people coming in are theoretically using the turnstiles. And inevitably, a bunch of people start coming in the emergency exit and not paying their subway fare, which I think is $2.75 now.
10th ride free.
They're doing this right under the nose.
13th? Oh.
They're doing this right under the nose of whatever station operator is sitting in the booth. And that person's just watching them, and they're flooding in.
Yeah.
I continue to pay my subway fare and brush shoulders as I leave through the emergency exit with people who are coming on for free. Can I stop them? Is it my job?
Dude, that is a fucking annoying as shit. But again, it just doesn't seem worth it. Like it just let him have the free ride, you know.
But why am I paying?
I know it's not fair. But I think a good society functions in a way where the people who are prospering are paying for things so that the people who can't pay.
That's a great answer. That helps. I needed that.
Yeah.
That's a great answer.
Society's only as strong, as the weak masses.
Let's call it. I'm subsidizing those who, in a way, I'm paying the MTA fucking salaries for the people and paying the fares in a way for the people that can't afford it.
Right.
But that means that if I see some guy going through the emergency exit and he's wearing really nice shit, I might stop him.
I don't know, man.
If he's got a sick watch on or a fur coat, I'm going to be more selective.
Dude, if that happens, you should be like, dude, are you okay? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's a $30,000 watch. What are you doing?
Why can't you maybe fucking buy yourself a subway pass instead of that coat next time? Play by the rules. I don't know, man. The older I get, the more that the people who are not abiding by the unwritten rules of society are bothering me.
It's like Shane's joke, right? About the Republican.
I guess.
Yeah.
Is that a Republican trait of mine?
Like just being like, pay. You should be paying. Why do I gotta pay? And it's not, but but you,
which
then leads to being like politically incorrect somehow.
You framing that they can't afford it is something that gave me peace of mind and instilled a sense of empathy in me.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but like maybe even if they kind of can, bro. Like $3 to us is nothing. We would never if the juice isn't worth the squeeze. If we happen to jump the turnstile, you know what? I actually jumped the turnstile once and I got caught.
Yeah.
Did I tell you guys this?
Yeah.
I did.
I think you have told us that.
What?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Go.
I don't know. So I was I was on my way to visit my girlfriend in college.
I think you've told me this.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I want to hear it again.
I had no money anyway. And I had I think I maybe even had a little bit of weed in my pocket, whatever.
Oh, shit.
And
Bad
so I'm
boy.
like, I'm nervous. And they're like, what are you doing? Why are you jumping the turnstile? They're like, come on over here. They like bring me over to like a pole. They two of them talking at me. And they're like filling out a thing. And I was like sort of like nervous. They're like, you shaking? Why are you shaking? I was like, I'm scared, sir.
Yes.
I have to do that?
Yeah.
And then they just let me go.
That's a great answer.
That, being humble in that situation helps.
Yeah,
dude.
it's really good.
I don't know,
It's
whatever.
good. That's great.
I was fucking.
That's great.
I don't know how that's related. But my point being, the 1 in 100 chance of that happening makes it worth it to pay the $3. Somebody who's willing to take the risk to save $3, they're taking a risk. They're taking a risk. You're not allowed to do that. You can get a ticket for that.
Right.
You can get in trouble for that.
Right.
I don't know. So that plus the thing I said before, I think maybe are a little helpful.
Okay. All right. That helped. That
It's
gave
not
me
the
some
hill to
peace.
die on, dude.
That gave me some peace.
$3.
All right. That's Oops the Podcast. We have any facts with Ryan? Facts with Ryan. Were they lying? Facts with Ryan.
So the fine for jumping a turnstile if you're caught is $100.
Wow.
That's a fat one.
Spicy.
Himothy, according to Urban Dictionary, is the chosen one from the man above. The name Theo means gift from God.
Wow.
And then Cosmopolitan 2006 edition, which you brought up as a reference. The March issue has Hillary Duff on the cover, and the headline reads, "What sex is like for him, his secret pleasure zone."
Oh wow. That headline didn't age well. I don't think anybody cares about him anymore, dude.
No, they don't. They sure don't. That's great. Guys, you can find me on the road. I'm in Minneapolis tomorrow night. I hope to see some of you there at the House of Comedy. Ryan's coming along for the ride. We're going to be here all weekend, Friday and Saturday. And then we're off to Chicago at the end of March 24th and 25th, my birthday weekend at Zany's Rosemont. Hope to see you there. Then it's on to Austin and Dallas and San Francisco and Charlestown, West Virginia and Buffalo. So come out to the Hero We Need Tour, francisellis.com for tickets. Julio, where can we find you?
Sweet. So just a little bit of update. Have the Atlanta show. Ticket links up. It's on my website, notjulio.com. It's in June at the Punchline. It's gonna be great. But in the closer future, I have Comedy Connection, Rhode Island, 14th, 15th of April. Helium in Philly, the 18th of April, and the 27th to 29th in Yonkers. And then Nashville, Atlanta, Texas, Detroit, Seattle. Tickets all on my website, notjulio.com. And guys, please, if you don't subscribe to our YouTube channel or subscribe to our podcast, it's really helpful for us when those numbers kind of beef up.
Yeah.
So please do that if you listen and you like us, and we appreciate all your support.
Yeah, just subscribe, guys. Just subscribe already. Thank you.